Good morning. We're already having a joy-filled day here at Unity of Palmyra, so welcome everyone in the room. Welcome all of you joining us from the ethers through Facebook and YouTube. We're absolutely delighted that you're here. At Unity of Palmyra, we embrace a positive path for spiritual living, and we're very excited. We've just ordered a new sign for out front since the old one got a little faded. And it's going to say a positive path for spiritual living underneath our name. So how cool is that? Just let folks know what we're about, because we are an open and affirming congregation and community. We love you exactly as you are in all of your magnificent glory. So welcome. Welcome to this time apart this morning, time apart from the world. So let's breathe that in. And if it's safe for you to close your eyes wherever you are, as always, if you're driving while you're listening to this, please do not close your eyes. But if you can, that small, sweet action signals our heart, our mind, our spirit, and the world that we are coming apart for a while. To just relax, to be together, to let go of what was and what will be, and whatever our to-do list is for the day when we leave this place. Right now, we are here. We are here physically. We are here in spirit. We are here now. We are here with wide open hearts and minds, so eager to receive the gifts of this time. We let go of what we think we know. We empty our cup so that we are clean and clear receptacles for what is being offered. Not just in this space or during this time, but in our lives. We commit to cultivating that beginner's mind so that our lenses are clean and clear and we can see what has been around us always. It is with that energy and that intention that we enter into this time together, and as always, we come together with gratitude. We say thank you for this time. Thank you for whatever space you are in, and most especially, thank you for one another. And so it is. Amen. All right, everybody stand, and we're going to be singing I'm Choosing Heaven Today. So we always choose three things in addition to heaven. We start with heaven, we end with heaven. But in between, you get to choose three things. What do you want to choose today? Beautiful day. Thank you for this beautiful day. We can do that. No, we can do that. We're good with syllables. We're flexible. Thank you for this beautiful day. We'll just say it really fast. Okay, beautiful day. Love. Peace. Okay, beautiful day, love, peace. One of us will remember that.
Okay, so we'll do, I'm choosing a beautiful day instead of saying today. How's that?
Perfect. And we begin.
Otherwise it's going to be blah,
Blah, blah, blah. So we begin and end with heaven, and in between it'll be beautiful day, love, and peace. Got it. Let's go.
Choosing a beautiful day.
Let's share together now in our vision, centered in love. We embrace a positive path for spiritual living. And our mission, wherever we are, we provide a welcoming community that inspires and encourages all who gather here through the teaching, sharing, and practice of universal spiritual principles. And one of the ways we practice those principles is to honor wherever you are on your journey, which, by the way, is also the daily word for today. It's a little preview. So if you want a hug, we will bring it in. If you want a handshake, please just put your hand out and we will do a handshake. And if you don't want us to touch you at all, just stand right where you are and we will totally honor that because we get that, okay? All right, have a great time.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Yay! Have a seat. I think we have finally gotten in the rhythm of that, haven't we? Yay! We're great. All right. Couple of announcements. Our prayer chaplains today are Dan Christopher and Leslie Burris, and they are both in the back of the sanctuary, and they will be over here after the service if you would like individual, private, one-on-one prayer. All you have to do is walk over, and they'll be waiting for you. Thank you for your service. The luncheon sign-up sheet for August 29th is out. Remember, August 29th is a special service. It's going to wrap up our 12 Powers summer, and we will be presenting the 12 Powers Play pandemic version. And it's also the grand opening of the Holy Grounds Cafe. Painting begins this week, by the way, if any of you feel like coming in and painting or brushing or rolling. And then we are providing luncheon on the church. So you don't have to bring anything except yourself, but we do need a count for that. So the sign-up sheet is over on the information table in the Rose Room. This coming up is the Source of Light. The website is now up. We also created an event. Please do go to our Unity of Palmyra page and share that event widely. All the vendors are now entered on the website. You can sign up for any session with any vendor. I've already done that. And then you pay through the website, so when you show up, you are all set to go. We're firmly in the 21st century. Thank you, Jackie, for making that happen for all of us. And Miss Gwen, I think you wanted to... Did I cover it? I know, but you have to show them your shirt.
Have a limited number of tickets for the gallery, but the event starts on Friday at 3 o'clock to 7 on Friday night. We have 10 vendors. The one that you really don't hear a lot about is Jennifer Hinderman from Just Juice It. She's going to be here making fresh smoothies for you and juices downstairs, so you'll want to come and enjoy the delights that she can whip up for you there. But all of what we have, the animal communicator back, we have aura scans, we have tarot cards, we got everything. And so if you're interested, please sign up early so that you get your slot. So thank you. Can't wait to see you at the Source of Light.
It's also the grand opening of Serenity Space. So we will be having munchies upstairs and smoothies downstairs and be giving folks a tour of Serenity Space, which is now available to rent. So it's going to be just an absolutely wonderful weekend. We can't wait. Miss Vicki, would you like to read the Daily Word?
Good morning. Good morning. And as Stephanie said, the word today is journey. My life's journey begins and ends in the heart of God. I feel excitement at the beginning of a journey, thinking about the adventures, the beautiful sights, and the fascinating people I will find at my journey's end. Even as I look forward to reaching my destination, however, I remain alert, open to the adventures and insights that await discovery along the way. My faith tells me that my spiritual journey began in the heart of God, long before my human birth. In childhood, I looked outward, longing for the adventures that would become waypoints of my journey to maturity. Now, I journey inward, longing for the spiritual home I never really left. I'm learning that even the most ordinary day can become an opportunity to realize that the heart of God is present everywhere. And from Psalm 121, verse 8, the Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time on and forevermore.
I am home, my family is here. I feel loved by the ones I hold so dear. And when my family needs me, I promise to be there. And when I need my family, I'm lifted up in prayer.
So this is the time of our service where we consciously enter into prayer, recognizing that our lives are a prayer. With every breath, we are praying, we are aligning, we are integrating. And so at this time in our service, we consciously bring our awareness to that alignment. As we breathe together, heart to heart, mind to mind, spirit to spirit, recognizing and honoring our connection, recognizing and honoring our decision to be on the journey together. For if you are watching this or listening to this or present in this room, you are journeying together as community, as kindred spirits, as fellow travelers on life's path. And so today we honor that journey and everything it involves. We honor the journey we have been on together for the past year and a half. We honor the little joys, the little causes for celebration that we found or created together. And we also honor the grief, and the loneliness, and the struggle that so many of us have experienced. Again, we recognize and honor that it was all part of the journey. Our work is to not push any of it away, but to welcome it in. to welcome it in as opportunity for growth, for deepening these abilities we call the 12 powers, for strengthening our resolve to be compassionate, loving, wise, courageous, and strong, regardless of what's going on in our world. And so today we embrace it all, the joys, the sorrows, the celebrations, the grief. We embrace it all with a deep sense of gratitude for where we are now, for what we have been through has brought us to now. And now is rich with possibility, rich with potential, rich with love. And is with this sense of gratitude for what has been and what will be that finally we recognize and honor the divine within each one of us. And so it is. Namaste.
The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. You are beautiful. You are whole. You are beautiful. You are whole. It's the choice of a lifetime. I'm almost sure I will not live my life in between anymore. If I can't be certain of all that's in store, this time it feels so right. I will hold it up to the light. Hold it up to the light. Hold it up to the light. The search for my future has brought me here. This is more than I'd hoped for, but somehow I feel that the choice I was made for will someday disappear. And I'll be too late for that flight. So I'll hold it up to the light. I will hold it up to the light. Hold it up to the light. Hold it up to the light. It's too late to be stopped at the crossroads, where each life here a possible way. But I see as soon as I'm moving, my choice is good. This way comes to right like I prayed that it would. If I keep my eyes open and look where I should, somehow all of the signs are in sight. So I'll hold it up to the light. And I said, God, will you bless this decision? I'm so scared. Is my life at stake? But I see, if you gave me a vision, would I never have reason to use my faith? I was dead with deciding, afraid to choose. I was mourning the loss of the choices I'd lose. But there's no choice at all if I don't make my move. And trust that the timing is right. So I hold it up to the light. I will hold it up to the light. Hold it up to the light. Hold it up to the light. I will hold it up to the light. Hold it up to the light. Hold it up to the light.
That song could have been written for this power. It's so practically perfect in every way. In every way. That's right. So welcome back to our 12 Powers series. Last week we looked at the power of spiritual understanding, which is our capacity to see beyond appearances and to realize our own innate spiritual divine nature and to see the world through that lens. So today we're going to look at understanding's partner. Notice how these powers all partner up. So understanding's power is the power of will, and it is represented by the disciple Matthew, and the color is silver or gray. This is it. This is all I got for silver. And my shoes, that's true. And my shoes. I'll make sure Ken gets a shot of those when I sit down. This is it. This is all I got. I'm a gold person, people. I don't. So, back to will. Will is our ability to choose, which is exactly what we just heard about, to decide, to command, to lead, and to determine based on our senses, thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. So we use will to hold our decisions up to the light. Isn't that a beautiful graphic? So that our decisions are life-enhancing and not otherwise. So Paul Hasselbeck, Reverend Paul Hasselbeck, in his book Power Up, which I've been one of the resources I've been referencing, he always likes to point out the underdeveloped aspect of the ability and the overdeveloped aspect of the ability. And I thought for will it was particularly interesting. Undeveloped will, in other words, we haven't really developed this ability, results in us being indecisive, wishy-washy, he actually said that, and unable to make decisions. Overdeveloped will, on the other hand, can create folks that need to have their own way all the time and exhibit a my way or the highway attitude. Overdeveloped will can demonstrate as stubbornness and or difficulty with change. So there's my way or the wrong way. That's overdeveloped will. Charles Fillmore wrote in The 12 Powers of Man, the will moves to action all the other faculties of the mind. So will is what compels us to demonstrate all the other powers. In other words, will moves all the other powers to actions and is sometimes called the executive power of mind. So we think of will as the CEO, right? The CEO has a board they work with and a staff they work with and volunteers that they work with. Will is the one who makes sure that everybody works together and actually takes action. Reverend Winifred Wilkinson Hausman taught, it is our job in developing our God-given potentialities to re-educate the will, the directing power of our mind, to teach it to become receptive to spiritual motivation. See, this is why it pairs with spiritual understanding, right? Rather than to goals determined by our materialistic pursuits alone. She says, one way or another, we are using our will, our executive mind power, all the time. We choose a course of action. We resist or resent. We submit or we fight back. We aim high or we slide backwards. Or we are willing to consecrate and dedicate our will to God. Jesus was our great way shower in overcoming the human selfish motivation of the will and allowing it to be replaced by a great unification. Don't you love that word? There was actually a Star Trek episode called Unification. Sorry. It was really a good one. At any moment, people, a Star Trek reference will pop out of my mouth. By a great unification. It was actually about the Vulcans and the Romulans coming back together. And it guest starred Leonard Nimoy. It was so cool. It was a Next Generation episode. Okay. With the divine will, thus producing good for all. The rewards of unifying our wills with the will of God are great. They include health, happiness, joy, peace, harmony, prosperity, and other good that we cannot even visualize in our present state of consciousness. And she concludes by saying, we can start to first awaken the will and train it by consciously watching its activities and directing it through our growing spiritual understanding. So there's nothing wrong with being willful, right? In fact, we want to have a healthy sense of will. What we want to look at is, what are we being willful about? Is our willfulness based on our human misunderstanding or on a sense of our divine potential? She says, the highest expression of will is developing the capacity to become willing, to consciously consent to the will of God. 3 of the most powerful words we can ever speak. I am willing. Nevertheless, I am willing. So what does that mean? So for centuries, humanity has tried to figure out God's will, which actually references a second Star Trek episode called Who Watches the Watchers? It's one of my all-time favorites. You have to watch that one. No pun intended. So I know in the past, I have prayed for the occasional billboard by the side of the road, like, oh, please make this guidance exquisitely clear. In fact, oh my gosh, this was amazing. I'm just remembering this. About 20 years ago, I was on the highway, and I was driving, and I was making a big decision, and I'm just praying, oh, God, just let me know, what am I supposed to do? Where am I? Where am I going? What am I doing? And I am not kidding you. A car drove by, and in that moment, this is God bumps, right? And the license plate said, on a journey. No kidding, true story, right? I would not make that up, you guys. It was pretty amazing. However, having said that, what I am believing more and more is that God's will is our will, when our will is grounded in spiritual understanding, when our will is based on our principles, when we are more interested in doing the right thing than in being right. So when we are aligned with that Christ consciousness, which is what these powers are all about, that's what the powers are. The powers are the abilities that we demonstrate when we are in alignment with that Christ consciousness, then our will and God's will are the same thing. And how can it be otherwise? because each one of us is an expression of the divine. And when we practice these powers that were so brilliantly discerned by Charles Fillmore, we are in full expression of that Christ consciousness. So Paul Hasselbeck says it this way: when we ask what is God's will for my life, the question implies that God has a specific will for us, a kind of divine plan or predetermination where God has already made all the choices for our lives. That would be Calvinism, by the way. There's no Star Trek episode about Calvinism, I just want to say it. This kind of interpretation of God's will implies a separation, a sense of an anthropomorphic God out there micromanaging our lives. In actuality, the will of God is nonspecific for any of our lives and circumstances. The divine plan is for each of us to make the very best choices to express the maximum amount of goodness, godness, and Christ consciousness we can at our present level of awareness. And we do this by using our power of will at its highest level. So it gives a whole new meaning to free will, doesn't it? Torquem Saradarian observed, "It seems to me that the term free will is one of the most manipulated and exploited terms. The real explanation of free will is not that you have free will to basically do whatever you want, but that your will can eventually make you free. It will liberate you and release you from slavery, the slavery of fear, resentment, competition, and lack." So, Miss Elaine, come on up. Let's hear about your experience with will. Do you want me to turn that on for you? See if you can do it.
Apparently, I do not have the touch.
It's well, maybe I don't have the touch either. Oh, there it is. I got it. It's a will thing, Gwen. All right.
Thank you.
So, first question is always the same, and that is, you heard the official definition of Hasselbeck, Fillmore, and Hausman of the power of will. How do you perceive the power of will?
Well, basically, I perceive it exactly the same way. It is your power to choose. It is discerning whether your decisions are coming from your head or from your heart, which is where your spirit or soul resides, or inner goddess, as I like to refer to her. So it's basically the same thing. It's exercising that power of choice in each and every moment.
And like Janie just saying, holding those choices up
Yes.
to the light
Yes.
and letting the light shine through.
Is this going to further me, or is this going to hold me back?
Yeah, yeah. And is this going to help me express the truth of who I am, or not the truth of who I am?
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. So talk a little more about your personal experience with this power, and how do you use the power of will? And of course, we're always looking at how have you used the power of will over the last 16 months.
It's been a challenge, and that's putting it mildly.
Yeah.
It has been a challenge. It's an everyday, almost moment by moment kind of thing. Especially for those of us who are very highly sensitive too and are empathetic, and we just feel and feed on this energy that is coming at us, which over the last 18 months now, 16 to 18 months, has not been the best positive, uplifting energy that's coming at us. So it's really, again, exercising my will to manage my energy,
Right.
to discern what's mine and what isn't,
That's so huge.
and to look at what's mine when it's not what I want it to be and say, okay, what the heck is happening here?
Can I put this in the not mine column?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
No, you really can't put it in the not yours column because it is yours. Great, thanks.
Yeah.
but it's empowering too. I
Oh,
find it
say
very
more about
empowering.
that. Yeah.
Well, I find it empowering to really be able to say, okay, is this mine or isn't it? And if it's not mine, why am I friggin' carrying it?
Right.
Why am I carrying it? Why am I keeping it with me? Okay, I get to choose. Ooh, power of choice. I get to choose whether I keep this or I release it.
Yeah.
There is this wonderful energetic exercise by Dave Markowitz, who wrote a book called Self-Care for the Self-Aware. And it's an exercise called Return to Sender. And you just kind of close your eyes and you just envision this cord between you and whomever in the ethers this energy is coming from. And you just watch this energy that's not yours returning back to the sender, being transmuted along the way. Because I don't ever want to give somebody bad energy back, even though I may have taken it in and perceived it for myself as not the most pleasant energy to have. I don't want to send it back to them that way. No. Let's send it back to them a little bit better. Put a little sparkle on it as it goes back. And I find that the exercise very, very powerful for me. It just, I can almost feel the energy moving away from me and just being transmuted in this beautiful little bubble of ether. And yes, in my mind, it's pink and it's sparkly.
I was seeing rainbow and sparkly, but I have
That works
But I
too.
have a 6-year-old granddaughter, so yeah,
That
that's,
works too.
so that so when you were talking about that, it reminds me of a Buddhist practice called Tonglen. And Tonglen is very much what you've described. It's the way that I was taught, it was a kind of a cool graphic, was you breathe in that energy, whatever the energy is, and you see it as a scrubby. This is literally how I was taught this practice. Scrubbing away any hardness around your heart, scrubbing away any ickiness or darkness or any like calcification, right? Think of it like you're scrubbing the outside of a pan. And when it's all nice and soft and compassionate and loving, then you send that energy back. And it was the way I was taught it was that this was one of the practices of the Bodhisattva, so that we're so often taught, you want to breathe in all the good stuff and then breathe out all that bad stuff and get rid of it. And I've always thought, well, that's kind of ignorant, right? Like, I'm breathing out all this bad stuff to the world. Like, I don't want to do that.
Where's it going?
And where's it going, right? Like
Yeah.
I want to be sending out good stuff. And so when I learned this practice, I thought, that's being of service, right? And it's also softening our hearts, right? Because we're recognizing inherent in Tonglen is any of that so-called negative energy. I am that too, right? That's in me too. And so this is, while it's of service, it's also softening our own hearts. Yeah, beautiful practice. Beautiful.
I like that practice a lot.
Yeah.
And of course, there's also dance.
Yeah.
And my daughter is going there. Of course, she's got to bring that up. Yeah, well, yeah, that's
that's
who
who
I
you
am.
are. Yeah,
Exactly, that's
yeah.
who I am. And that is such an important movement practice for moving energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So absolutely, that's foundational
Yeah.
to my well-being.
I actually thought of you and our friend Vicky, who also is a dancer. I'm reading a book called Burn, and one of the things she says in it is one of the reasons that so many of us, women in particular, are experiencing burnout is because we don't move enough. That in our current culture, like if you had your fight response activated and you were running away from a lion, right? There was a completion of that activation where you either got eaten by the lion, or, God willing, you escaped from the lion. But in escaping, you moved. And she said, in our culture, we don't move enough, and it really contributes to the stress levels. and to burnout. And so I think of you and your shimmying. And if you've never done any of her classes, they are so much fun. They're judgment-free. You just move. You just move, and it's so powerful.
It is.
Yeah.
It's very, very powerful. Very
Yeah.
powerful experience. It can bring up a lot of emotion, too.
Yeah.
If you're working through stuff as the energy is moving through you. And the class is always a safe space
Yeah.
for you to have that experience.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the groove classes, the conscious dance classes, even belly dance,
Yeah.
it's all part and parcel. It's just moving that energy, allowing that energy to move through your body and out your body. So you're feeling what you need to feel. So you're not repressing it
Right.
for it to come up later, but you're allowing it to move through your body and then back out because you've transmuted it as you're moving it through your body as well.
Yeah.
So it might be anger that you're feeling, and your movement practice could be a lot of stomping and punching and all that stuff. But you're releasing it, and it's being released in a healthy way, and it's not being sent out as anger. It might look it to somebody who doesn't understand what you're doing,
Right.
but it's
just that
no,
release of
it's
the
that
energy.
release of it, it's that cathartic release of it.
So you're not turning it into cortisol, which
Correct.
makes us gain weight.
Yes. And we don't want that either.
We don't want that either. Yes. So I love it when you share pictures of your belly dancing classes and experiences, because I look at you all and I think, wow, there are like normal people with normal bodies, loving their bodies, moving their bodies, not worrying about pounds or wrinkles or stretch marks or any of those things that society tells us are bad.
Or
right?
cellulite.
Or cellulite, whatever. You know, it's just so wonderful to watch the absolute joy of that.
Well, and that's a journey and a process too, actually. It really is.
Yeah.
Because belly dance helps you to fall in love with your body again. I know that's what it did for me. I've always been very body conscious. I mean, I look back at my pictures now from when I was in high school when I thought I was fat.
Oh, God, don't you
I
wish
want to
you
look
weighed
like
now
that.
when
Yes.
you first thought you were fat?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I never wore a two-piece bathing suit because I was ashamed of my body. I wear a two-piece bathing suit now, people,
You go, girl.
and I don't care.
Yeah.
The only person whose opinion matters to me is that man right over there. And if he likes it, I'm good.
I know. I've told Ken, I wish you would judge me when I gain weight, but he doesn't, you know? He doesn't. He's like, oh, honey, you're beautiful. I'm like, that's not helpful. Really? It's really sweet, but it's, no, I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
And just really helped me to fall back in love with my body again and how my body can move. I mean, 3 kids, 3 C-sections,
Yep.
because all 3 of them were C-sections, and I didn't know my body could still do these things. It's just like, oh, I can do that. Oh, I can lift my hip. Oh, I can drop it. Oh, I can do a belly roll. I can do an out belly roll and an in belly roll.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's fun.
Talk about
And it
conscious
is.
use of
Yes.
your will.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And then choosing to dance in those costumes, which are beautiful costumes, but you're bearing your middle
Yeah.
for the most part. I mean, you can wear a mesh middle, and I have been known to wear the mesh middle on occasion, but I also stopped wearing the mesh middle because I thought, you know what? This is me.
Yeah.
Accept me or not.
I was on a mother's site a couple of years ago, and they had this conversation about stretch marks, and this woman said, these are my stripes of honor. You know, these are my stripes of honor. And I was like, man, that's a really powerful way to reframe that.
That reminds me of the scene in Shirley Valentine. Do you remember?
Mm-mm.
Okay, Shirley Valentine, the movie where she goes to Greece and she has this basically spiritual journey and epiphanies in Greece, but the man she meets kisses her on her stretch marks. And her line is, he kissed me stretch marks. I can't do the accent, but...
No, but
And I
how
remember
powerful.
Yes, I remember
Yeah.
listening to that saying, thinking to myself, oh my God. So
Yeah.
someone can find you and your body beautiful even in the more mature years.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't have to be in your 20s and unscarred or.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your joy. Did you ever think you'd go to church and hear about stretch marks? I'm just saying, right?
Or that it would be a part of a conversation about the power of will.
The power of will. That's right. That's right. Thank you, sweetheart. That was wonderful. Wonderful. I can turn it off.
I mean, it's going in. I'm pressing it, but whatever.
I live with a member of the sound team. I'm qualified to turn this off. There we go. All right. Miss Janie, would you like to sing us into meditation?
Breathe on me, breath of God. Fill me with life anew, that I may love the way you love and do what you would do. Breathe on me, breath of God, until my heart is pure, until my will is one with yours, to do and to endure. Breathe on me, breath of God. Fulfill my heart's desire, until this earthly part of me glows with your heavenly fire.
So I invite you to breathe. Breathe deeply, feeling the breath moving through your body, moving through your lungs, down through your belly, through your legs, and out through your toes. And then feel the breath returning, having been nurtured by the earth. Back up through the root it had just taken, feeding every cell. With energy, with wisdom, with courage, with strength. With every breath, we align our hearts, our minds, our spirit with our deepening understanding of spiritual truth. With a deepening recognition of our oneness, of our wholeness, of our connection with one another. With every breath, we understand that our will and God's will are the same when we are in that alignment, when we are in integrity with our principles, our beliefs, when we are in integrity with our commitment to practice these 12 abilities so fully and beautifully demonstrated by our brother and way shower, Jesus. So take a moment now in the silence and simply affirm to yourself, I am willing. And then notice what appears. Might be a new way of seeing, a new way of being, or an action ready to be taken. I am willing. I am willing to hold my choices up to the light, to base them on truth and my current level of understanding. With every breath, I am willing.
Breathe on me, breath of God, until my heart is pure, until my will is one with yours, to do and to endure.
Thank you. That was beautiful. We used to sing that in seminary. That's gorgeous. The first seminary. I'm working on 3. It's going to be the denomination that was created in Great Britain based on Star Wars and the Force. I've decided that'll be my 3rd and hopefully final ordination. What do you think? I think it's very round. So this is the time in our service where we acknowledge that we live in a constant flow of giving and receiving. And at this time we acknowledge your incredible generosity and consistency in your giving of your time, talent, and treasure, especially over the last 16 months. Vicki and I were talking, I gave her an update. I said, not only are we this close to reaching our incredibly unrealistic yard sale goal, but we are actually over budget for fundraising for this year during a pandemic. So y'all are amazing, and we thank you so incredibly much. If you want to give to us electronically, there are all sorts of ways to do that, and we also have a basket in the back of the sanctuary. We no longer pass the basket. We don't need to do that, not with the incredible spiritual maturity of this congregation. So, thank you.
Thought I knew my mind like the back of my hand. The gold and the rainbow, but nothing panned out as I planned. They say only milk and honey's gonna keep your soul satisfied. Well, I better learn how to swim, 'cause the crossing is chilly and white. Twisted guardrails on the highway and broken glass on the cement. The ghost of someone's tragedy, how recklessly my time has been spent. They say that it's never too late, but you don't get any younger. Well, I better learn how to starve the emptiness, feed the hunger. Up on the watershed, well, you can stand there and agonize till your agony's your heaviest load. You never fly as the crow flies. Get used to a country mile when you're learning to face the path at its pace. Every choice is worth your while, and there's always retrospect to light a clearer path. Every 5 years or so I look back on my life and I have a good laugh. You start at the top, go full circle round, catch a breeze, take a spin, but ending up where I started again makes me wanna stand still. Up on the watershed,
think we all need to print out the lyrics to that song and put them on the refrigerator. What's that line when you stand at the crossroads and you agonize until your agony becomes your heaviest load? Right?
You can
Right?
stand there and agonize.
And you stand there and agonize. You know, I think sometimes when we're, and this references back to something Elaine said, I think sometimes when we're really agonizing over a decision, I think sometimes it's because we know what we need to do and we don't want to do it. Right? Right? And then that's when all the other 12 powers comes in. That's when we listen to that voice of love and faith and wisdom and strength and life and understanding and all of those, and we release the fear of taking the action. Right? Beautiful song. Thank you. Thank you. Let's stand and bless the incredible generosity of this community together. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in each and every one of you. Yes, we do. Let's sing the peace song. We choose all keys. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And wherever God is, all is well. So thank you, Alan, for demonstrating how quickly we can change choices in picking the new key, and to our entire music team for once again.
And to learn 2 songs with chords completely in 45 minutes.
Yes, you're amazing. You're all amazing. Thank you. We are so blessed. Have a wonderful week. Go forth and make amazing choices this week, guys. Love you. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye, Facebook and YouTube land. Thank you. It was wonderful.
Okay. Okay.